What's going on, YouTube? What's going on? It's your boy Supreme here with a new, fresh mobile game called War Alliance. It's pretty neat. Actually, it's really good. It's really good. So the premise of the game, similar to Clash Royale and Champion Strike, if you've played that, it is a tower-based game. You do have two towers. The slight difference is that you're given what you see on my front screen, heroes. So, if you've never played the game before, or a game similar to this, these are the heroes that you get. Each have different attributes, obviously, different hit points, damage, so forth and so on. This one in particular, Ghost, she specializes in slowing targets down. Not too much on the damage, as you can see, about 83 damage, but it is splash freeze. So anyone in the general vicinity of where someone's hit will be not froze, but slowed down. It just gave her a buff on her range. I don't know if that's a grammatical error or anything, but they did just scale her down a little bit, like 0.5 on her range. Needless to say, still pretty formidable adversary. So as you see, it says Ghost is a versatile support hero who buffs nearby allies with increased attack range and utilizes a long-range area attack that reduces the movement speed of opposing units. So that's Ghost for you. Then we have Commando. He's more of your running gunner. Very high damage output, 166 on the damage. Not too bad on the health. It's pretty mediocre with 26, 54. And also this is scaled according to your actual tower level. So whatever your tower level is, that reflects the level of your hero, how much health and damage output you do as well. He only attacks ground. Ghost as well, she only attacks ground units, but he does move pretty quick. And right here it says Commando is a great all-around assault hero that is extremely mobile and packs a wallet, decimating single target ground units and structures, which is actually pretty true. You don't want to drop someone a card that's squishy in front of them. They'll be going within seconds, like in an instant. That minigun does some serious damage. So on to the next one we have here, Volt. One of my top favorites. He just got the God Smack of all nerfs. Yeah, the God Smack of all nerfs. I think it's because of his cool hair and mask is why he got the nerf. But pretty much, not that it matters unless you've previously played with him. He was scaled down from being able to hit 4 targets to hitting 3. His stun was reduced from 0.4 seconds, I believe, to 0.3 seconds. And his chain damage, I believe that remained the same. There was something else. Oh, his range went from a 9 to an 8. So he was scaled down pretty easy. I would like to say he was OP previously, but through gameplay and analyzing things, my better judgment would say that people just didn't know how to deal with him at his previous state. So in order to help, I guess, other heroes get a little bit more limelight, because he was dominating the ladder for a little minute. A lot of people either play with him or play with Ghost. They gave him a Godsmack nerf. But nonetheless, he's still pretty formidable. He does stun damage to any unit who gets hit by his attack. And as it's stated, it does chain. Now, the good thing about Volt, he does have ground and air attack. So that's pretty cool. His health is my biggest beef, though. 1659 for the health. He's already squishy. I believe that Ghost has less health than him, but it makes sense for her because she has so much range. She can literally hit you from across the map. I mean, without having to cross the the line. So with the nerf that he just got, he's definitely going to need a health buff in order to play the line and be a little bit more aggressive. But I digress. I've played some people, some opponents who've been doing very well with his current state. So we'll see. So it says here, charge with a chain lightning attack. The stuns multiple. That stuns multiple. Wow, read that totally wrong. That stuns multiple opponents at once. Volt acts as a great support, but needs protection due to low health. Obviously, guys, come on. Give a little bit more health, man. Come on. Like, the buff was crazy. I get the note, we get it, but still a little iffy on that. Next, we have Hellbrand. Also, there's different classes associated with each hero type. So she's a support. He is an assault. Volt is a support as well, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, he is. Hellbrand is a tank class. Hellbrand, great. Haven't really found a deck that synergizes with him really well. For me personally, anybody who plays the game have any pointers? Feel free to drop it on the comment section below, or send it to me in Discord for the game if you're playing. So his tankiness is absolutely probably the best in the game. He does have a very short range of attack. You do have to be within like 6 tiles. If you're playing Clash Royale, it would be like equivalent to like 6 to 5 tiles within range to hit somebody. Now he does have splash damage and he does have area damage. Excuse me, not splash, but area damage, and also his firebomb. Check this out. Does burn status. So if you're familiar with how burn status works, it happens over time. The longer your unit or hero, whatever the case may be, is in that being affected by that particular, I guess you can say, spell and or class or I don't know, attack. The burn it burns over time. So that's actually a pretty cool thing about him. He is very, very good against spawning decks. I mean, like, if there's anybody who can handle spawning decks pretty well, it's this guy, definitely. And that's without having to sacrifice putting in like something like one of the cards, the mortar, or there's another card that what is it called? It's called the missile siren. So without having to use cards like that or other building structures, he's pretty good if he does have good cards to help him out. He does need to have someone who attacks air, because he attacks no air whatsoever. Ground leader told me. So next, let's read what the note is. What he lacks in speed, Hellbrand makes up with a strong AoE attack and an ample amount of hit points, making him a strong, swarm-stomping hero unit, as I stated. This is my first time reading it, and I can't believe I pretty much got that down. I mean, that sums up what I said, but yeah, there you have it. So it's Hellbrand. The next, we have Ironhide, who is a tank, a guy in the tank. He is a tank class unit, 4,645 hit points, does great area damage, and as a matter of fact, if you are new to the game, he's probably one of the best people to climb the early phase of the ladder with. You could probably, you can use him all the way up to the ladder, point of ladder where I'm at in Master League, but he is if you have a really good deck synergizing with him, he could be very formidable in the first three league classes. So, new to the game, I wouldn't really focus on purchasing any heroes, just FYI. Definitely focus on leveling up the cards, because it's not the heroes that's going to get you to excel in the game, but the cards themselves, of course. So we have here, he does only ground attack. His attack speed is pretty slow. he's good if you have any stuns or anything like that, cards, any freeze cards, anything to slow your opponent down to give him more time to attack. Excellent utilization. So far as any additional like buffs or anything that he has, nothing. Hopefully he gets a buff similar to like what Ghost has, and there's someone else who has a buff in the game, but everybody has to have their own uniqueness. That's what makes every hero different, and people to want to play with different heroes, of course, at the end of the day. So, packing a large amount of hit points, General Ironhide is a tank class hero that is ideal for leading attacks against an opponent. Excuse me. Yeah, so he's really good at applying the pressure, and being able to make a strong push. So next we have Scarab. He's a defender unit. He is like a walking Inferno Tower. If the Inferno Tower had legs, this is what it would look like, or do. So Scarab has a decent amount of health points, 23 for level 8, not bad at all. Making him honestly pretty balanced and on the defense side. They just gave him a buff as well for his Zaplings, which are these little spiders that look pretty much just like him, or a little like him. They drop, they run, and they explode with a stun. So they just got a spawning buff. He got a spawning buff for like how many he drops per second. Now he does, as you can tell, on the second down from under the hit points, it says damage per second. You see a laser beam. So as I was saying before, he's like the Inferno Tower. With the Inferno Tower, you have the beam that it casts out, drains energy over time or life over time, and pretty much that's exactly what the Scarab does. Alongside, because he does, and I'm quite sure because he does drain so little amount of health, is why they gave him the Zaplings to be able to spawn those as well. So let's read up on him. Scarab is an intimidating hero that can easily melt a single target with target units with its laser, which has increasing damage over time, and deploying Zapling units that stun. So pretty much exactly what I just communicated to you all. You have the Scarab. Yes, the Scarab. Alright, next on our list, we're going to go to, we'll save the guy with the bandana for last. We'll go to Victor Van Boom. Victor is a defender unit, the slowest hero, in the game. Listen, if you have an issue with slow moving units, he is not your guy at all. A snail will win a race against him, and that is for sure. At any rate, Victor has a decent amount of hit points, not a lot. He has 1991 for level 8. However, his attack damage 664, crazy. This guy hits you, man, and it's like thunder. It's like Thor's hammer came and just made love on your head. So yeah, you have to definitely stay out of his range. His attack range is 11. Pretty much one of the longest range things in, I guess you could say, amongst heroes cards. Is probably, I would say, the third ranking in range. Probably third, maybe lingering at fourth. But that is Victor. So Victor, again, only attacks ground units. His cannon, it's a cannon, but it works in the fashion like a mortar. So the timing on it, on the attack speed, as you can see, is 5.5 seconds. Not fast at all. Slower than Ironhide. So yeah, you have to really pace yourself with this guy. He's like all defense. You're pretty much allowing your troops to generally get the push, get the win for you. If you're a spawner, if you have a spawner deck, he's actually pretty good with spawner decks. I have a few viewers on Omlet who use him with their spawner decks, and they can testify that he is pretty good. He's a very well balanced, helping you get your units across the field. So next, let's read a little bit about Vic. So Victor Von Boom is a defensive class hero that may be slow, but can easily help fend off incoming swarms with his powerful area damaging mortar. So again, pretty much the mortar on a tank, you got Victor. On to the next one. So next we have Janbo, not Rambo, but Janbo. Rambo's. If Rambo and Zach Galifianakis had a kid, it would be Janbo. So Janbo, he's pretty straightforward. 1991 on the hit points, does 149 area damage, 100 damage per second. His range is actually really good, 8 range. His speed very fast. Now the thing is about Janbo, I think he has a buff where it's like if he gets attacked or he's being injured or attacked, same indifference. Because if you're being attacked, you're getting injured. But yeah, at any rate, he gets like a speed buff, like where he just moves like crazy, man. Like, can't use the other word that because it's not YouTube friendly. I don't want to get a strike, but yeah, man, he moves like Sonic. He's out of there, you know. His attack speed is quick as ever. That I will say, he's another hero outside of Volt who attacks air and ground units. So, fast, tough, and packing a strong splash attack. Janbo is ideal for those looking for an offensive-minded hero that will drive opponents crazy. And let me tell you, he does. Because they will run on your side with this guy. You want to take him out, but he moves so quick that he kind of like baits you into a trap. So you have to be very cautious when playing against him. And playing with him. I haven't unlocked him yet, but I've seen what can be done with him, and I think he's going to be pretty good once I have him unlocked and be able to try him out. But on to the next one we have here. Last but not least, we have Gustav. Now, Gustav is like his Rangers. Now, before we just got a little issue. That may be why. Let's connect to the correct. All right. Hopefully the connection improves. Let's see. I'll check myself in. 1 second, guys. I'm sorry about that technical. We'll be back to discussing heroes in just a moment. Let's get back to Gustav. All right, so real quick. So Gustav, like I said, support class hero. He really is all support. That gun in his hand is a flare. So he shoots out the flare on attacking units and or heroes, and the Rangers drop. Now, it happens quick. Now, that I will say. His attack speed is 3.3, so you can imagine how many Rangers he can drop on a unit or multiple units at a time. So he drops 2 at a time. They have their own set of hit points, damage per second, their attack speed. They only attack ground, but they do move quick. So that is a food for thought. Now, read on about Gustav. Unlike other heroes, Gustav doesn't do any direct damage himself. Instead, using his flare gun to deploy his squad of Rangers to attack for him. So, again, hence back to if you are into spawner decks, he would be probably one of the best characters to utilize for your spawner deck. Or hero, excuse me. Gotta get that turn down pack, man. That's, you want to respect how they classify everything in their game. So those are the 9 heroes so far. We see a lot of space down here. Hopefully we get more to come. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, right? So now on to the cards. So the one thing I will say, they do have the cards. First off, you can change the organization just like Clash and Champion Strike. The one thing I do like is that they have it classified like with types. So for instance, if you're looking for ground units specifically, you have your ground unit section. If you're looking for air units, you have that. Defense there, support there, your structures and or buildings, boom, there. That's good. That I like that in particular, especially if you're already like at max level, and you know all your cards are exactly what they need to be. It gives you more of a, hey, let me just look for this particular type of deck. I can just, you know, pull what I need from there. But I typically right now, since I don't have everything maxed out, keep it at power. That way I can see my see them a little bit more together, organized, and how much they cost in energy. And so in this game, elixir and or energy is what it's called here in this game. So you have various types of one moment, y'all. Gotta let the dog out. Just woke up from his nap. Ready to go for the sheep. Come on. Go. Alright, so now we have let's go to type. So we have the ground units. Let's address these. So we have this here is the heavy tank. Self-explanatory. I'm not going to go through every card, guys. Just giving you synopsis of what we're dealing with in case we have people who have not played or tuned into anybody streaming or any videos on YouTube about this game. So we have the heavy tank. He is definitely B&B when it comes to pushes when you first start the game. He's one of the first tanks, heavy tanks that you, not heavy tanks, but one of the first actual tanks that you get in the game. He is a common unit, so it's easy to level him up. Really good offensively, and it can take a few hits as well. Then we have various other units. As a matter of fact, let's do it like this. So how they classify their rarity, we have common, rare, epic, and legend. Right now there's only 4 legendaries. They keep offering me these guys, but I'm not budging. I'm not spending 30,000 tokens or coins on that. I prefer to level up the cards, get them where they need to be, so I can continue to climb the ladder. At any rate, let's get into some games. Just wanted to give you an idea of how the game looks, the design, how, you know, just an idea of how to play for a little bit, still idling. And also, just disclaimer, this game is still in beta phase, so bear with it. Now, let's get into a match. Let's see what we got going on. I'm going to run some games with Ghost.
Tracking targets.
Ready to go. Ready to go. All right.
All right.
Roger. All right. No problem.
Sorry about that feedback.
Go. Rolling fast. Let's go. Are ready to go.
All right.
Roger. All right. No problem. Warheads ready. Let's go. All right. Let's go. Targets in sight. Ready to go.
All right.
Ready to go. All right. Ready to go. Let's go.
All right.
Roger. All right. Targets in sight. Ready to go. All right. Roger. Let's go. Roger.
All right.
All right. Roger. No problem.
All right.
Roger.
Good game. Good game. Why the hell is that picture? Oh, I had to change that.
Sneaking up.
Roger. Roger.
All right.
Targets in sight. Roger.
All right.
Zap, zap.
Targets.
G Master.